The Linn County Auditor's Office says it was an accident when an employee recently emailed out partial Social Security numbers belonging to county voters. The numbers went to some Republican Party members in the county. TV9 Chief Investigative Reporter Josh Scheinblum has been following this story and joins us in the studio tonight. And Josh, the auditor gave you a demonstration today to show you how this mistake happened?
He did, Bruce. In fact, it was just 11 days ago that the Secretary of State, Paul Pate, issued this open letter to Iowa voters assuring them when voter list requests are made, Social Security numbers are never provided. But we now know it's happened. In fact, a check mark on a virtual box is all Linn County Auditor Joel Miller says stands in the way of his office sending out the personal information of the county's 216,000 registered voters, a scenario that played out this past Friday when the last four digits of voters' Social Security numbers were sent to the Linn County GOP and a mystery email account.
You could see driver's license, so we would uncheck driver's license and last four.
The system used to send the sensitive material was done through a statewide program called iVoters.
When I click on last four of Social Security number, there's no warning that comes up and says, hey, you want to send this out because this is illegal for you to do and you might go to jail. There's nothing that says that.
The Iowa Secretary of State's office tells I9 iVoters has been used successfully to process tens of thousands of requests for years. But what's happened in Linn County they believe to be a first. They think that's because the employee responsible for the error didn't follow proper procedures.
To my knowledge, there's no operator manual out there for it.
There hasn't been any training, you say, in the 10 plus years that you have been auditor. What?
There's not been training, hands-on training on iVoters that I'm aware of that have been given to my staff or have went around. And I think that's one of the faults that I'm aware of.
A spokesperson for the Secretary of State's office calls those claims ridiculous. Secretary of State Pate's office says Miller and three other county employees took part in a three-day training session in Coralville back in September 2015 that specifically went over voters' lists and dealing with political parties. They also point out not only does a guide for administrators like Miller exist, but it also discusses the rules of what to include and not include in voter list requests.
And the rebuttal I know from the Secretary of State on that particular item was, well, here's a training slide. Here's a PowerPoint that your staff attended back in August of 15. A PowerPoint is not hands-on training. And if you happen to get up and go to the restroom during that, you missed it.
The Secretary of State's office tells me iVoters has been used to process voter data requests since 2006, and we're getting new information right now into our newsroom. In the last few minutes, we got a letter from Joel Miller. It's from the Secretary of State's office that was sent to him, and it says that the Secretary of State's office is looking at whether the system should be modified. It is also looking at handling Linn County voter list requests until new policies can be put into place. That's what the state's doing right now. And it also says they are reoffering Linn County IT security training and recommending future voter data transfers be done. Now, Miller says that his message is simple, and really this all comes down to, in the end, he believes human error, and he'd like to see some more steps taken.
Thank you, Josh. Continue to look into that, yeah. And the Linn County Auditor's Office is talking with companies about identity protection. That's after an employee accidentally emailed partial Social Security numbers of the county's 216,000 registered voters.
I9 has followed the story since it happened nearly 2 weeks ago. KCRG TV9's Chief Investigative Reporter Josh Scheinblum joins us now.
Josh, what is Auditor Joel Miller doing about this now?
Well, Bruce and Beth, Miller says that he's working with both the Secretary of State's office as well as the Linn County Attorney's office to try and resolve this problem. But some members of the Linn County Board of Supervisors say more still needs to be done.
Just to go back to public comment, were we supposed to receive an update, or was...
Linn County Auditor Joel Miller was not listed on Monday morning's Board of Supervisors meeting agenda, but some supervisors were hoping he'd be there to provide an update on the recent voter data breach.
We were supposed to get the final, maybe you want to call?
I know it's on tomorrow's agenda.
Supervisor Ben Rogers expressed frustration to I-9 after the meeting about how Miller has responded to the mistake.
I have no idea what conversations they've had with the email provider. I have no idea if they've talked to any identity theft protection providers. I don't know the state of the emails. I don't know the path going forward.
Miller has argued the steps he's taken have minimized the risks voters face. I-9 has learned his office has been in talks with at least 3 ID protection companies as they consider providing coverage to everyone who was on the voter list.
How much could that cost?
Well, I can't tell you right at the moment. I haven't even paid much attention to the numbers at this point in
Do you
time.
have an estimate? Is there a range?
I'm not even going to estimate right now. Maybe now that you asked that question, I'll have that for tomorrow.
Yeah, he was strongly encouraging me to sign on to have my computer examined.
Linn County Republican chair and one of the recipients of the email, Justin Wasson, says Miller has also been talking with him.
They want to send an IT individual to go through my computer, my personal computer at home, and go through all my data and everything, and I'm not very comfortable with that.
Miller would not give us a cost for providing ID protection to impacted voters.